Hello stamping friends, it's Liz Holloway from Liz Holloway Design and welcome to my video tutorial on how it's made. In this video I'm going to show you how to use our Stampin Up markers, watercolor papers, and aqua painters. I'm using this new stamp set which is featured in our 2015-2016 catalog called You Got This. So let's get started. I have already prepared my watercolor paper by stamping it with Versamark and embossed the flower with black embossing powder and then heat set it. I'm taking the Daffodil Dijon marker, which is also brand new in our 2015-2016 catalog, and applying it onto the paper where I want the darkest areas to be. Now if you haven't used your aqua painter, you want to twist the top off and fill it up with water and then recap it tightly. Gently squeeze the barrel until the water flows out of the nib, and then starting at the marked color, make circular motion and pulling the colors towards the top, squeezing more water as you need it. Now I want to add more shade towards the bottom of the flower, so instead of using my marker pen, I took the ink pad, squeezing the lid down to get more ink on the lid, and then taking the aqua pen and applying shaded colors where it is needed. I'm going to set some background music and speed up the video so that you can watch how I put the shaded colors in.
Here's what we remember today. Oh, celebrate the difference that we made. Thinking back at where we started, we can see just how far we have come with what each of us has created. We see there is power in one. The journey is not always easy, but with every step along the way, oh, celebrate the difference that we make. Be the difference.
Sometimes I get impatient, so I'm going to zap it with my heat gun to dry the color. Now I wanted to give the statement a different look from the original card, so I am coloring it in with the watermelon marker. And taking the paper snip scissors and cutting the flower out. You can see that I am maneuvering the paper as I snip down. By moving the paper, your scissors can cut intricate places. Now quite often, when I cut the focal point out, I like coloring the edges with a black Sharpie marker so that you don't see white edges when the flower is popped up. It also makes the focal point more complete and clean. The focal point is really not complete according to what I can see, and I want to make certain areas darker, so I'm bringing in my marker pen and shading the petals where it is needed. Next I cut a 3x3 Whisper White cardstock and I scored it at 3 inches. And I am stamping my sentiment with a Versamark on the bottom right and then applying a black embossing powder. As you can hear in the background, I just turned on the heat gun and I want to make sure that the heat gun is hot before heat setting the embossing powder. You want the heat gun hot so that you can melt the powder immediately to prevent excess powder flying everywhere. I took a strip of designer paper that measures 1/2 inch by 4 inches, and I kept this designer paper longer than the finished product. This is because when you're stamping, you really don't know where the position is. To keep the strip straight, I aligned it onto the grid paper, inking up the sentiment and stamping the strip with the Versamark, and then applying the embossing powder again. Making sure the heat gun is nice and hot before heat setting the powder. Before you move on, filter the powder back into the tube so that you don't have a big mess on your working space. And then the next thing is that I applied double-sided adhesive tape on the back side of the strip, and then carefully aligning the sentiment, ensuring that the sentiment is lined up. And then I'm cutting off the excess pieces. This video is coming to an end, and thanks for stopping by. Give me a thumbs up if I have inspired you, and I hope that you will attempt to make one for yourself. If you haven't yet, click on my subscribe button. This way you will have access to all my YouTube videos for free. Head over to my blog if you are serious stampers. A list of supplies can be found on my blog at lizhollowaydesign.blogspot.ca, and I will put a link to the bottom of my YouTube. Bye bye for now, and see you next time.